final quarter begins right now.
And welcome to the final quarter here on CBS 8 Plus. John Howard, I am Jake Garriani, Karthik Venkatraman, enjoying a nice long vacation back home. So it's just the two of us holding it down. For those of you that came for Karthik, go ahead and move on. Right now, he's not going to be here. Actually, that's not true, John. We will hear from Karthik later in the show. So for all the Venkatraman fans, actually, hang on. You're going to love what we have for you. But first, we have to discuss, as we normally do, about the San Diego Padres, who have won 4 of their last 5 series. They're in the middle of a homestand as we record today. They just took 2 of 3 from the Los Angeles Angels, and they get set to host the Seattle Mariners. John, Padres been playing some impressive baseball as of late, been playing some weaker teams as of late as well. What have your thoughts been on the brown and gold?
Well, you can only play the teams that you're scheduled to play. And if they're playing down, then those are the baseball scheduling gods in your favor. When you're playing a team when they're down, fantastic. You mentioned winning 4 of 5 series. That is immediately in the wake of losing 8 of 11 games. So when there was that span, the Padres lost 8 of 11, some people starting to question, oh, maybe the roster isn't as thick as it should be because there were a lot of injuries, et cetera, et cetera. But boy, they have bounced back, and talk about playing well. Before last night's game against the Angels, 4 guys in the starting lineup hitting 300 or better. Machado, Tatis, Jackson Merrill, and Gavin Sheets, all at 300 or better. And not on that list, Luis Arraez, the 3-time batting champion. So this roster could have 5 guys in the lineup hitting 300 or better. That's like a throwback to the 1970s where the punch and Judies were very much appreciated, and the long ball was for the guys like Hank Aaron and Dave Kingman. But I love seeing guys hit for average and generate the runs. It's always fun to see the long ball, but I love seeing the small ball played as well.
Exactly, and even from guys you wouldn't expect, in a sense, like Manny Machado, who is on a 15-game hitting streak. He's not really hitting for too much power right now, but he's putting the ball in play. He's running the bases really well. He's obviously playing Manny Machado defense. This team's just doing a lot of the things the right way, and it's, of course, because they got healthy, getting Jackson back and Luis back. Really, the only big piece missing right now is Yu Darvish, who did make a rehab start. Everything seemed like it went well on his end, and, of course, Matt Waldron's still on the IL. But this team is healthy. We've said it a million times. They prove that they can play well when they're healthy. And really, I think about a couple of things during these last games for the Padres as we look at the NL West standings. One, the game I was at in Colorado that was on CBS 8, the 21-0 clobbering that set record after record after record. And then 2, the Fernando Tatis Jr. walk-off home run, his first career walk-off home run in the history of his major league career. And it came off the heels of that kind of Robert Suarez disaster game where, honestly, the Padres, John, should have swept the Angels, but Suarez couldn't find the zone. But good teams bounce back, and that is what they did against the Angels these last 2 games. And look at it right there, John, half a game behind the all-world beating Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, and we've talked so much about the National League West and how strong they are. Look at the top 4 teams and the wins, 28, 27, 25, 23. Those 4 top teams are rock solid. This past week, Buddy Black, the Aztec, fired by the Colorado Rockies. Kind of a joke by Colorado to fire Bud. I mean, that 7-36 record has nothing to do with the manager. It has everything to do with personnel. But I love, getting back quickly and briefly, to Manny Machado hitting for average. I don't know if this is something he intended to do or it's just been kind of a result of where he's been in the lineup. But I absolutely love seeing another element of his game come out deep into his tenure with the Padres. Growing up, I was a Magic Johnson, LA Lakers fan, and every year Magic would get better at some element of the game, whether it was free throw shooting. They say he couldn't shoot long distance, so he became a 3-point threat. And I love seeing Manny bat for average for the entertainment of it and for the versatility that it brings to him as a player.
It's what great players do no matter their platform. A solid example there, of course. And really, I want to get back to the Bud Black thing because you touched on it, but I would like to call it out for what it is. This has absolutely nothing to do with Bud Black. He was handed an impossible situation, and it's everything to do with the ownership of the Colorado Rockies, Dick Monfort. I feel bad for the players on the Rockies. Half of these guys are not ready to be big players. Of course, Bud Black was going to get fired. I mean, they knew at the the entire way. The thing that I found weird, John, was they fired him after one of their 7 wins, like minutes after. I mean, they had clearly made the decision after the 21-0 situation that he was not going to be on their next road trip. But to fire a guy with the class of Buddy Black when you knew you set him up for failure, it's a bad look. But the entire Rockies organization, and I feel bad saying this, John, because when I was out there was a lot of great people in that organization from a PR staff that really took great care of me all over. I got a lot of good things to say about that organization. But from the ownership down, it's just been a disaster. I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for the players. I feel bad for Buddy, even though he's going to be just fine. And right now, it's almost like watching a car wreck. You can't look away from how disastrous it is getting for the Colorado Rockies, but that's not our problem, is it?
No, it's not.
Let's go ahead and look at these overall MLB standings because the Dodgers and Padres are right there at the top. How about the Detroit Tigers, huh? 29-15. I know when the Padres went to Detroit, all of a sudden that was kind of the beginning of where the struggles were a little bit for San Diego. Well, unhealthy and what the Tigers are doing, it all makes a little more sense, doesn't it? Anybody catch your eye on that top 10 in Major League Baseball leaderboard, John?
Well, the Tigers, obviously, that's really something else. And how about the Chicago Cubs checking in just above the San Francisco Giants? It's an interesting collection of teams, and as we continue to look at the top 10 every week, eventually this is going to be your playoff field, roughly. And, you know, you look at these records, they're rock solid, every one of them, 25 wins at least, from 25 to 29 wins. So you think there'd be a lot of parity within this group if this eventually is roughly ballpark the playoff field come September and October. It's a good-looking batch of teams. I like it.
Plenty of season to go, obviously. Now, the team just below the Royals, not on this graphic, is the Seattle Mariners, who are coming to San Diego for a 3-game set. They're dubbing it the Vedder Cup after Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder. And we have this on CBS 8 for you.
Saturday night at Petco, where the Friar faithful come alive and the bats in even flow. Seattle comes to town. Can San Diego chase them away? Padres, Mariners. Coverage begins at 4:30 Saturday on CBS 8.
All right, this is the inaugural showdown. We have that game on CBS 8 Saturday, which is awesome. Friday will be the first game in the Vedder Cup, John. Are you a big Pearl Jam fan? What do you got on Eddie Vedder?
All right, I'm not a Pearl Jam fan. I'm more of a classic rock fan. But, you know, Eddie Vedder, San Diego High School alum, but, you know, that style of rock really has its roots up in Seattle. I love that they're calling it the Vedder Cup and love that this local musician who's had just a brilliant career is being recognized. They've got special baseball caps for giveaways. Should be a great time.
What's your best Eddie Vedder impression? What do you got for me?
I don't have any.
You don't do.
Sorry to disappoint.
He's a guy who grew up in San Diego, then obviously founded Pearl Jam and did all that fun stuff up in Seattle. So that's the cool connection for the Vedder Cup. Padres will try and take care of business against the Mariners, and then they hit the road beginning north of the border against the Blue Jays. We'll bring all that to you next week here on the Final Quarter on CBS 8+. In the meantime, how about the local football club, SDFC, after going through a bit of a rough patch, John, all of a sudden right back in the right direction. They have won 3 straight matches. I was working this game Wednesday. I thought this was their most complete match of the season, in my opinion. They really handled the Colorado Rapids. Your thoughts on what this match was, John?
Well, I might respectfully disagree. What about the 5-0 win? That was pretty impressive, too. But last night, excuse me, Wednesday night, so we don't date this show, very impressive. And you mentioned 3 straight wins, and just like the Padres playing well after a rough patch, this 3-game winning streak comes after a 3-match losing streak. And similar to the Padres, when SDFC lost 3 in a row, we were starting to wonder, oh, maybe they've hit this rookie franchise slump, and now maybe they're headed towards the bottom of the standings, which they were, way down in 7th place. And it might be the beginning of a spiral for the entire season. But to bounce back and win 3 in a row, very impressive. And I really got to credit Mikey Vars, does a great job keeping these guys coordinated and playing as a team and continuing to raise the bar that he expects them to play at.
And there's been some really impressive performances. You're watching the young goalkeeper, CJ Dos Santos, who had a clean sheet on Wednesday night. Anders Dreyer has been on an absolute tear. 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 3 matches. And, John, all this comes over a 10-day span where they have to play 3 matches, right? They played last Saturday, they play Wednesday, and then they got to play again this Saturday. Yep. And when you're this hot, though, the good thing is you want to stay on the pitch playing soccer. Let's hear from the head man after this victory against the Colorado Rapids.
It's massive. It's a massive performance from the boys. I hope everybody's as inspired as I am by them because they're so brave to play. So easy winning a game 1-0, start to tighten up, kick the ball line, start going backwards, and these guys did all the opposite. They went forward, they went and pressed, they played even more brave with the ball, trying to attract the opponent out. And for me, it was just a complete performance. I've come in here so many times and said, you know, this was good, but. For me, tonight is like an example of what we can be. And we have to enjoy that. As a city, as a region, we should enjoy that tonight. And then we need to do a quick turnaround. So tomorrow, it's only about the next game. But this exact moment right now, we can't let this feeling slip because we get a taste of what it can be.
I love everything Mikey Vars has to say. It seems like he has always just got his thumb on the point of whatever everyone is feeling and knows how to elaborate on it well. And I really thought, you know, he talked about how he's come into the press conference room after matches and, hey, this was good, but, hey, this was great, but. And then all of a sudden he goes, hey, let's celebrate this one. We played really well against the Colorado Rapids. Let's go out here and celebrate it. And I just think he is the guy that keeps everything so even keel. The Padres got a guy like that in Mike Schilt. It's just been so impressive, John.
Yeah, I was out at San Diego Football Club practice last week, and there was a 9 or a 10-year-old girl out there that was being a reporter for a day, getting to ask the players and Coach Mikey questions. And one of her questions to Mikey was, what tips do you have for me as a 9-year-old soccer player? And his first thing was, well, do you like playing the game? Yes, she says. Do you love playing the game? Yes. He says that's the first most important thing, that you enjoy playing. And then the 2 other things he said was, always be open to criticism from your coach so you can become a better player, and love the competition. It's going to be more fun to win than lose, but even in losing, if you had fun playing and you loved the competition, that is what you want to be doing no matter what sport you're choosing or what you're doing in life. He's just got great, deep-seated philosophy in his person that comes out as a coach. Very good leader, I think, for San Diego Football Club.
Absolutely, and he talked about the club being brave with the ball, and take that for what you will, but I would love Karthik to be here because a lot of what he discussed is how SDFC never gets off that gas pedal. They're always going to be, in his words, brave with the ball, trying to draw people in, no matter the score. He mentioned it in that soundbite. Hey, we were up 1-0. We didn't drop back and just play defense and play prevent. We were still brave with the ball. We still wanted to make something happen. They got that second goal, really put that match away. They've been so much fun to watch in their inaugural season, and I just can't wait to continue watching them in this year. Again, they'll play Sporting Kansas City, 3 straight home matches for SDFC as they'll play at Snapdragon Stadium Saturday against Sporting Kansas City. Let's go ahead and get to the hardwood, the NBA postseason. First, we got to take a look back at last week. I know where you're going to start, Karthik. Your Cavs look like they might be in a little bit of trouble, my friend.
That's what the people want you to think. My Cleveland Cavaliers are going to come back, baby. And this is why they're going to come back. Look, first game, we didn't have Darius Garland. Pacers played great. They shot the ball extremely well. They're not going to shoot 60% from the field for the rest of the time. You can scratch that. That game's a wash. Last game, missing Darius Garland, Defensive Player of the Year, and Evan Mobley, and our big trade pickup in DeAndre Hunter. We ran out of gas at the end. That's okay. You can have 2 on us. Get ready. Cavs in 6 or 7. We're winning this series, and we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. You can guarantee it, said Charles Barkley.
They dropped 2 at home. That's about the worst way you could possibly start.
Right. Hey, man, got them right where we want them. Got them right where we want them.
Got them right where they want. In case you're not up to date on the NBA postseason, the Cleveland Cavaliers got eliminated by the Indiana Pacers. They did not have them right where they wanted them. I think, by the way, you mentioned they weren't going to shoot the ball better than 60% or something. The next game they played, they shot like 70%. I text Karthik because I wanted to let him defend himself. I'm not that bad of a person. I said, hey, do you want to send a video? He's out on vacation. He said, I got busy. I couldn't send a video. But he did send me an official statement that he texted me. I'm going to read it in full for you right now on camera. My official statement, I am sad. End of statement. That's where he left it. So I don't know how much defense he has for himself. The Cavaliers, the top seed in the East, eliminated just like that. I mean, it was pretty impressive by the Pacers to do what they did in that series.
It was. And, you know, Karthik's a big Cavaliers fan, so I was going to say, yeah, he's not here to defend himself. We shouldn't be too rough on him. But there have been times that Karthik has predicted more than one thing on the same game, and then later said, see, told you so. But on that one, he was so passionate about Cleveland doing this, doing that. So fun to give him a little ribbing while he's away.
Also eliminated were the Golden State Warriors without their best player, Steph Curry. They won the first game, and then the next four did not go their way. So they are finished. Minnesota Timberwolves headed on to the Western Conference Finals, where they will face the winner of the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. As we record today, the Thunder hold a 3-2 series lead. They are playing here in just a little bit, so for my sake, I'm hoping we're able to talk more about the Nuggets later, but they've got their backs up against the wall.
Yeah, you got a prediction for us on that, Jake?
I ain't guaranteeing anything. I'm not. Here's what I will say, John, about that series is this game 6 is in Denver. You can win that one. You go get one in Denver. You tie it up. You never know what happens in a game 7 in any sport, right?
That's right.
Get it to 7. Figure it out. Hopefully the Nuggets can win tonight. Hopefully they play well. I mean, Nikola Jokic had a 44-point double-double, and they still lost the other night. That doesn't give me a ton of hope. They don't have a ton of great depth, but maybe they can push this to 7, and then you never know. Boston Celtics stayed alive for one more night against the New York Knicks. Knicks lead that series 3-2 as well. Let's go ahead and check in on the Lynx real quick because it is Major Championship week, the second major championship of the PGA season. And as we record once again, they are just kind of finishing up round 1 there at Quail Hollow in North Carolina. The big group that everyone was keeping their eye on were the top 3 golfers in all of the world playing together. That was Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele. Didn't go all that well in round 1 for that group, although I will say Scottie Scheffler kind of fought his way through a 2-under round. If that guy is anywhere near the top of the leaderboard come Saturday, Sunday, that's who I'm taking.
Guys, I have picked Bryson DeChambeau, but so has 4 of the 5 guys that I'm playing in my pool with, so I think we're all going to tie one way or the other. But Rory McIlroy, 4-time winner at this golf course. It's a location of a regular stop on the PGA Tour. And Justin Thomas, he won at Quail Hollow in the PGA Championship back in 2017. Quail Hollow, home to the Green Mile, the 16th, 17th, 18th holes. It's got a lot of personality on the track, and I think it's a great location for the PGA Championship.
It'll be curious to see. I know we kind of got a peek behind the curtain a little bit recording this in the middle of round 1, but it'll be curious to see how guys like Rory McIlroy, now that he's got the career Grand Slam out of his way, and guys like Xander Schauffele, now that he's got 2 majors under his belt, if they play with any different kind of style and pressure. A lot of the talk, though, into this first round was the course itself. Players complaining about mud balls and it being so wet, and it's really kind of taken the beast of the conversation has been the course. So they always seem to address that stuff as these majors go on, but it has been the topic of round 1. We'll see as this thing gets going, but it's always nice to have a major championship under our belt here. I'm trying to see if I want to make a prediction, and it just feels so hard to bet against like a Scottie Scheffler. I do think some guys like Ludwig Oberg could hang around. A Corey Connors is like a nice sleeper pick, but maybe I could list off like 10 or 15 golfers, and we might get one in there.
But that's what Karthik would do. He'd pick 10 guys.
I'm channeling my inner Karthik for this one as we let the major championship, the PGA Championship, unfold at Quail Hollow. Here's what I'll really channel. The predictions won't have to be predictions in a week from now. We will have results next time we record the final quarter on CBS 8+. We will be back here next week. Can't wait to talk about that major champion, the Padres, and a whole lot more when we return here on the final quarter on CBS 8+. John Howard, send them off, my friend.
Bryson DeChambeau is going to win the PGA. We'll see you next week.
Guarantee it, huh?